All you gotta do is just. All you gotta do is just. All you gotta do is just. No, baby, you know you ready. 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 All you gotta do is just.
It is do or die here for the Flyers and the Red Wings. The Flyers jumped to third place in the Metro, riding momentum that they're gaining late into the season, continue to play every game not just for any 2 points, but the right to define their own season instead of reacting to it. The Red Wings, meanwhile, have their stakes at an all-time high this decade, sitting 3 points outside of a playoff spot, running out of time to close the gap, especially after leading the Atlantic Division on January the 25th. At this point, anything short of winning out would likely end the Red Wings inheriting the NHL's longest active playoff drought after the Buffalo Sabres ended theirs this season. Loved one, I am Alec Nava. And yes, I had to go through some technical difficulties to start off. The laptop wouldn't start up, and neither would the space or Ace on Twitter, nor would anything on OBS on the Twitch side. But everything has been resolved. In the meantime, we got Frozen 4 action. I know my friend here, Andrew, he's with us here for the Wisconsin-North Dakota game. How are you doing, Andrew?
I'm nervous. 2-0 is a dangerous lead. What do you think? You got faith in the Badgers? Or you think North Dakota, they've been on a tear all year long. It's destined. Badgers, doesn't matter the sport. You talk a Wisconsin sports team in the playoffs, you know someone's got to choke. I don't know what your opinion is here.
I have to say, on one end, a 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in hockey, but I'm surprised that North Dakota's been playing a one step behind Wisconsin throughout this game. 2 goals in the first period can attest to that, both in the span of 30 seconds, and Wisconsin's taken total control on the shot board. The second period went to a more defensive approach for Wisconsin, and that 5-on-3 penalty kill was the big story about it. And not to mention, breaking up that breakaway. That was huge.
It was. Hey, goalie's been having himself a game here. Hellebrook.
Yeah, Hauser.
Hauser, you're right.
Yeah, the freshman netminder for Wisconsin. He's been huge.
Yeah. So what are you watching right now? Are you got the Wings game, Wings Flyers on, or?
Yeah, I put on the side by side. One end it shows North Dakota, Wisconsin. The other shows Flyers, Red Wings.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't love too much hockey? We got Tampa, Montreal in a crucial Atlantic Division battle as well. The main focus here is the Eastern Conference playoff race. The Red Wings are in essentially a 5-team battle for one of the Eastern Conference wildcard spots alongside the Ottawa Senators, the Columbus Blue Jackets, the New York Islanders, and back from the dead, the Washington Capitals.
And who are you liking for that last wildcard spot, Alec?
Well, as of right now, Ottawa's holding on to it by slim margin, but every other team since the Capitals is collapsing on themselves.
Oh, yeah, and, Boston, still a path for them not to make it.
I mean, Boston's holding on to that first wildcard spot. It's unlikely to see them forgetting one of the top 3 spots in the Atlantic, but I feel it's a matter of time before they clinch what would be an unexpected playoff spot entering the season, knowing how last year went. But this year, the Marco Sturm effect has been very real.
So who are you liking to make it out of the East now that the Florida Panthers officially will not three-peat?
Oh, and I know a lot of hockey fans are going to say hallelujah, but I know they have a top 10 protected draft pick to come with them. But out the East, I feel it's going to be either one of Carolina, Tampa Bay, maybe Montreal, or if you want maximum chaos in their first trip back to the playoffs in 15 years, how about Buffalo?
How about Buffalo? Because why not?
Yeah, why not?
I like a Buffalo Carolina ECF.
Oh,
May the
just like
best team
20
win.
years ago, Andrew.
Oh yeah. Hey, the Farmington Woods days.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Yeah, where were we? We were in what, Mrs. Gross's class then?
Oh, oh, yeah, back in those days, indeed.
Who did you have for second grade? Because I had Miss Milantoni. I don't know who you
Yeah.
had.
Nolan.
Nolan.
Yeah.
Nolan. So you were. Who were you? You were Nolan. So you were Long, Nolan,
Groves, Smith, Warner.
Warner.
Yeah. Yeah, those were the days.
Those were the days. Hey, that was a good playground. They had that fire hydrant in the middle of football field. Kids would just trip over.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. All right, so Wisconsin, North Dakota, they're getting back into action. We're moments away from Flyers, Red Wings. So we go over our lineups. Tyson Forrester just got back into the lineup several games ago. He got back on the same day that Porter Martone made his NHL debut. He's a standout winger for the Michigan State Spartans. It was unfortunate that Michigan State fell apart, but only one team had to move on between them and Wisconsin. And Ben Dexheimer, what a warrior he is. The Forrester with Trevor Zegras and Owen Tippett, Travis Konechny, Christian Dvorak, and Martone on the top two lines. The third line is Alex Bump, another collegiate forward coming out of the coming out the Western Michigan Broncos, not the Denver Pios, so excuse me there. Noah Cates and Matvey Michkov on the third line. Denver Barkey, Sean Couturier, and Luke Glendening round out the forecourt. Oh boy, penalty coming up against Wisconsin. Huge kill here. And here are defensive cores. Travis Sanheim.
Osborne.
Yep. Travis Sanheim with Rasmus Ristolainen. Cam York with Jamie Drysdale. Nick Seeler with Emil Andre. Dan Vladar is the starter. Samuel Ersson is the backup. And for the Red Wings, our line combos: Emmett Finney, Dylan Larkin, Lucas Raymond, Alex DeBrincat, Andrew Kopp, Patrick Kane, Marco Kasper, JT Comfort, David Perron, James Van Riemsdyk, Dominic Shine, Carter Mazer. And defense corps: Simon Edvinson, Mort Sider, Ben Sherratt, Justin Falk, Albert Johansson, Axel Sandin Pelika. The starter is John Gibson. The backup is Cam Talbot. And here we go here from Hockeytown. The Red Wings fighting for their playoff lives. The Flyers looking to maintain third place in the Metro Division. Alec Nava here with you as Andrew Ford has left. Here we go here. Detroit in the red. Philadelphia in the white with the orange shoulders. And somewhere is our good friend John Ott watching nervously as he is getting set to call the Denver-Michigan game later tonight. It's part of the Frozen Four. Quick shot. Stopped by Gibson. Now was Dvorak taking the shot, as is this battle at the near corner. Poke free by Sider. Martone's in on him. Sider cycles this around over to Edvinson. Martone once again active on this aggressive forecheck. Number 94 in white. Moving up is Sider. He'll drop back for Edvinson. 77 in red. Left side for the future Hall of Famer Patrick Kane. Cycles this one around. Kopp could not pick it up. And the Flyers will get this one not all the way out as it's held in by Detroit. And backing around, this is Marco Kasper, or rather Patrick Kane, trying to cycle this to the left point. The Flyers will grab a hold of it. It's Forrester from the near half boards. Right circle. Forrester surveys. He'll move this one around back towards the far side. Now going down low for Tippett. Acquired in a trade to send Claude Giroux to the Panthers, and a quick shot was stopped by Gibson. That is Gibson, net 36 in red. Kopp with it, trying to backhand it out. Now it comes loose in front. Save! Gibson on Forrester. DeBrincat moves for Falk. Justin Falk, the former longtime Carolina Hurricane, gets this all the way down. It will be restarted by Andre. Emil Andre, 36 in white, moves it near side. This takes a bounce. That was Bump. Noah Cates active there. Now at the far corner, it's picked up by Bump. Quick shot went wide. Michkov in pursuit. It is picked up by the Red Wings. and it'll be settled down by Comfer. And this will be picked up now by the Flyers. And we have stop a cheer for the first time. Our referees for tonight's game are Gord Dwyer and Brandon Blandina. Our linesmen, CJ Murray and Tyson Baker, 19 and 39, 68 and 88. The first penalty of the game belongs to Michkov. 2 minutes for roughing. The Flyers got the first free shot of this game as Michkov unnecessarily sucker punched David Perron. And the Red Wings were their strongest at on the power play. This is where they can strike. They've struggled all year 5-on-5, and they've capitalized more because of defense. A good penalty kill by the Wisconsin Badgers on the other side. And the Red Wings will get set. This is Raymond, who's been struggling this much. And to break it! Quick save by Vladar. 9 seconds onto the man advantage. A glove save by Vladar as Raymond cycled it down low for DeBrincat. And all it is of Raymond throughout the month of March and ever since the Olympic break are flashes of greatness, but nothing more. Only flashes. That needs to be corrected. Todd McClellan tried everything to get this going. False start at the faceoff, Dylan Larkin for the Red Wings. And now he wins it cleanly. One of the best faceoff men in the NHL. The Flyers at the 20th ranked penalty kill at 78.2%. Controlling his Raymond, left circle. Now down low, DeBrincat. He scores! Top shelf! And a cat scratch opens the scoring in Motown. What a fancy move. As Without Me starts to ring on at Little Caesars Arena. DeBrincat went top shelf on the backhand. What a fancy move. As Raymond went down low. Same play as last time. And instead of going forehand, DeBrincat catches Vladar by surprise and goes backhand. All alone, undefended. Nobody dared to watch him. Neither Sanheim nor Drysdale were set. And top shelf, the referee sees that right on cue. 1-0 Red Wings. And that took 2 minutes and 28 seconds into the game for the first goal. And DeBrincat, who has already crossed the 40-goal plateau, adds to his total. Wisconsin's trying to add to their lead against North Dakota. It is a 2-0 game there. And here's Larkin. He can wheel it from the far side. He'll hold. Right point. Quick shot. Later sees it all the way. He'll hold it. 2:45 left. 2:45 gone in this first period. It is interference. It's an interference penalty. We have another penalty in this game. This is going to go against Justin Falk. And so the Flyers, who have one of the worst power plays in the NHL, is going to be sent to the box. He interfered with Cam York, number 8. And we look at that replay again with the Alex DeBrincat top shelf backhander. It was the same play twice in a row. Raymond delivered to DeBrincat. And on the second try, it was successful. DeBrincat, 40th of the year from Raymond and Sider. Now the Flyers go to work on the power play. Zegras, right circle, was involved in a trade from Anaheim to Philadelphia. Zegras, across the ice, a bump, and that shot went wide. That was Mort Sider who got bumped. No call. Flyers keep it in as it goes down low. Far side, short side, big push on Martone, and his shot went wide. Zegras gets forced out by Kopp, and the Flyers have to reset. Drysdale moves down for Cates, and drops back for Drysdale again. No, excuse me, that's Zegras. Martone, back for Zegras, near corner. He'll cycle this all the way back. Forster rips it, and that's a good blocker save by John Gibson. It's out of play, 40 seconds gone on the Falk penalty, and the Red Wings score on just their second shot on goal. This matchup was featured in 1997 in that year's Stanley Cup final. The Red Wings won in 4 games. Face off to the right of Gibson, won by the Flyers. Picked up now by Drysdale, ripper! And a good pad save by Gibson, closing the 5-hole. Forster in the battle of Johansson. It is Cates trying to poke it free. Forster wants to go back towards the left point, but he's still entangled by Johansson. Chirot's also there. Chirot's stick lifted by Martone. Johansson with it. Now it comes loose to the near corner with Zegras, who backhands it all the way to the point. It's Drysdale controlling. Zegras gets it back. Across the ice. Forcer, one-timer. That's wide the net. Red Wings clear all the way down. 1:15 gone in the Falk penalty. It'll be Drysdale picking it up, starting this attack. Jamie Drysdale, another former Anaheim Duck, one of two alongside the aforementioned Trevor Zegras. And here's Owen Tippett, the former Florida Panther. And Tippett gets sandwiched by Edmondson, but on the run loose, Konecny in front. He wanted the feed to Dvorak, never reached him. Ristolainen keeps it in. Here's Tippett again. Tippett could not get by Edmondson. He had a good skate on it, and is cleared up by the Red Wings. Later, we'll play this one out. Former Calgary Flame. Back up to Jacob Markstrom at the time. It's Ristolainen will drop it back. Tippett moves it up through the middle. Final seconds of the power play. Nice, stick it away, and this should do it. Justin Falk is coming back onto the ice now. Drop back from Ristolainen, and here's Sanheim out the reach of Ristolainen, and this will be iced against Philadelphia. Jacob Bernard Docker is in the lineup, not Axel Sandin Pellikka. Bernard Docker having good chemistry with Johansson throughout the course of the season, and Sandin Pellikka was used on the second pairing alongside Ben Chirot. The Brinket with the recent goal, 40 goals on the season for the Cat. Off this face-off, a stick lift here. Mazur tried to track it down, but it will be moved up by Philadelphia near side. Michkov, one-on-one with Johansson. He gets forced towards the boards. Michkov still in pursuit. 3 Red Wings there, still with his Michkov as he tries to work it towards the point. Michkov hounded down, and this is fed out in front. Backhander by Couturier. It's stopped by Gibson. He'll hang on with it being caught on the glove. The Flyers try to counter with a backhander of their own from Sean Couturier, their captain, but that could not materialize or subsidize. And Michkov, one of their former first-round picks, an early first-rounder, by the way, wanting to live up to his potential. Faceoffs won by the Red Wings as they get set. It is the Kane line out onto the ice as Chirot moves around near side. Oh, this hits the side of the cage of Vlader's right. Michkov still in pursuit. This takes a bounce around as Emil Andre picked up by the Red Wings. Using the boards is Sider as this gets sent in. No deflection. This is icing. Still, it's a 2-0 Wisconsin lead over North Dakota. A shocker if the Badgers were to pull this off. In the first 26 games, the Red Wings were 21st in points. The next 27, they were first at a .759 points percentage. But in their last 25, that points percentage is .400, ranking 28th. The first 41 games were Philadelphia, .622, which is 6th. And now they have the 4th best points percentage ever since the Olympic break. Face off to the right of Gibson is won by Philadelphia. Here's Owen Tippett. Set up from Gretzky's office. Backhands it all the way towards the point. It's Drysdale. Fades it around towards the boards. And Dominic Shine shoves off his man. Tippett kept it in the left side. Hits a body. And the Red Wings get it out. Tippett will reset with Forrester. Forrester sends it in. Takes a bounce off a skate. But it's held in. Here's Tippett. Oh, he gets held down. No warm-up is in the air. Look to be Ben Chirot. Zegras tries to do a miss again. Oh, would that have been something? He has one already back when he was an Anaheim Duck. From the far half boards, it is cleared out to center ice, and the Flyers will try again. Jamie Drysdale sends it in deep. Forrester pins his man towards the boards that allows Martone to come onto the ice with the puck. Now back towards the trailer option. That is York with a shot. Rebound is sticked away by Larkin. It's actually Sanheim, not York, as Sanheim goes back towards the point. Long shot from Konecny. That's stopped by Gibson. Justin Falk clears this one out all the way towards the Fire zone. Ice gets waved off. It did not make it all the way towards the thin red line. Flyers in the white, and Sanheim will send it towards right side for Dvorak. Dvorak, his ripper hits the mesh. And we will stop play. 6:54 into the first period. The Red Wings have the only goal thanks to Alex DeBrincat. When he come back, we'll have an update from the Wisconsin-North Dakota game from Las Vegas, along with return to action here at Detroit.
All you gotta do is just gotta do is just no, baby, you know you ready. 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 All you gotta do is just no,
Cole Reshney was close to getting North Dakota on the board. His shot went off of Dan Hauser and off the crossbar. It is still 2-0 Wisconsin. As we look back at Trevor Zegras, he once did at Michigan before. He had 2 of those in his NHL career, and he was close to adding a third one against John Gibson. How close that was? That went off the blocker. Rasmus Ristolainen off this face-off win. He'll hand this one off. And cycled around by Dvorak. The pass cut off at the near corner. And Sean Couturier tried to pound the body on Simon Edvinsson. Edvinsson tried to clear, is held in by Ristolainen. And it's fired out. Alex DeBrincat up the far side, dumps it in. Waiter sends this one out over to Dvorak. Dvorak almost had that one taken away from him. It's moved up to Martone. Porter Martone. Far side as he sends it to Konechny. Good stick check there by the Red Wings to clear that chance out. Rasmus Ristolainen resetting with it. Just 3 shots on goal for the Red Wings, but they have the only goal thanks to Alex DeBrincat's power play marker. Pass off Konechny. He'll fire this around the boards. Nobody there to help him out. And so Detroit will restart. And this is Justin Falk leading the way. Their trade deadline acquisition from St. Louis. He'll flip it wide of Vladar to his left. Far corner as this is battled for by Compher and Mazur. Compher tried to poke it away. Perron's also there. Mazur elevated to this third line. Here is Compher, who got held back. They'll warm up. Porter Marteau at the near corner. Feeds it to Cates, and Cates gets rid of the puck by Compher. It's not held in by Detroit. Perron will play to an open man and fire from the red line as they get the line change on. Emil Andre shoved off the puck. And jumping onto it is the man that's up onto the bench and onto the ice. Perron lifts this one back to Bernard Docker. Here's Johansson. Johansson places one around the boards. Nobody open at the far half side. And Cates will take it away. Noah Cates to Alex Bump. Gets checked away by Albert Johansson. And Johansson places up front near side. By the penalty box doors to an open man. That is Jacob Bernard Docker. Bernard Docker lifts this up front near the Flyers bench intending for Shine. But he was not open. John Gibson. Oh, he almost got ran into by his own man from the near corner. The Red Wings are finding themselves into a pickle. Couturier heads off for Glendening. Glendening fires. That one off Gibson. Collected at the far side as it goes down low for Barkey. Barkey gets ran into on a double team. Back towards the right point. Here's Drysdale controlling, pivoting, firing, and that's wide. The Red Wings trying to move this up the ice as Bernard Docker could not handle this one. Larkin could. Or rather, that is James Van Riemsdyk, the former longtime Philadelphia Flyer who spent 2 separate stints with them. One of them going to the 2010 Stanley Cup Final. It's played out to center, and the Flyers will restart with possession. Jamie Drysdale in control from his own zone, looking for a lane to pass to. Drysdale fires it up the ice, and is mishandled by Forrester. No breakaway for him, and Gibson will hang on to this puck with 10:18 to go in this first period. CJ Murray has to separate a Flyer and a Red Wing because that could have been an altercation. That was Forster 71, Seider 53. 1-0 Red Wings as Forster's a little upset as Murray had to pull him away from this crowd. As Seider, he did shove him down, and that attracted a crowd. Forster, of course, did not like it, and the reaction was understandable. This faceoff will come to Gibson's right. Emmett Finney is part of this group with Dylan Larkin. 53.7% faceoff probability win rate. This time it's Zegras with the faceoff win, and Forster lifts this up high. Finney braces himself, collected by the Flyers from center ice, fired in from the near side. Icing is waved off. Penalty coming up against the Red Wings as they touch up. High sticking penalty is the call. Looked to be a delay on that call. It's actually going to be against the Flyers. I thought it was against the Red Wings, but they changed the penalty. I think Philadelphia is going to be on the kill again. Tyson Forster is going to sit down 2 minutes for high sticking. And Todd McClellan is going to go to work with his power play unit. It almost looked to be Dylan Larkin with it. And Moritz Seider pinned his man towards the boards, and I didn't know where the penalty was. Looked to be a friendly call towards the Red Wings. Not sure about that. 10:03 left in this first period. It's holding the stick, actually. I thought it was a high sticking penalty. They called it holding the stick. So Detroit going to the power play again. They capitalized on their previous chance, which was the Alex DeBrincat goal. Moritz Seider will start from his own zone. 10 seconds into the man advantage. Luke Glendening watching. Here's another chance. Alex DeBrincat moves up with speed down to the far side. Patrick Kane mishandled it, and Larkin will have to go back. He feeds for Kane. Kane fakes the dump in. Now he'll do it. Towards the near corner. Larkin in pursuit alongside York. York tries to get it out. It's held in by DeBrincat. Right point is Seider feeding it to DeBrincat. Back for Kane with it. Kane takes one up. Deflection shot. Rebound chance if it's available. Lucas Raymond scopes it up for the near corners. This cannot be sailed down. Seider readying up. Far side is Larkin. Now it's Raymond with it. Raymond goes back for Seider. Seider's shot blocked. It goes for Raymond again. Raymond going back for Seider. Top of the point again. Seider fakes. Now goes to Raymond one more time. They play some catch. Here is DeBrincat one more time. A ripper that is up high and wide. Sean Couturier will grab this one up and fire it down to the distance. Both team second units will get back out there on the ice. This second unit led by David Perron and JT Compher. Perron fires it around near side. It'll go far. Mishandle, and the Flyers will have an opportunity to shoot this one down. Now on the run now is Christian Dvorak as he backhands one deep towards the trailer. Noah Case, Spenorama. And could not get by the defenseman. That was back there. JT Compher fires this one around far side. The Flyers will get to it first. It's picked up now by Rasmus Ristolainen. Fed one in front for Noah Cates. This is a 2-on-2 chance. The Flyers will run out some more time. Cates will take his time with it from the near corner. He wanted to play this one towards the right point. Nobody was open. Now Finney with one last chance. Emmett Finney speeding down the near side. Finney, as the power play expires, poked away by Sanheim. It'll be scooped up by Philadelphia. Now out of the box here is Tyson Forster. Forster pass across in front, and Sanheim missed the net. From the far half boards as the Red Wings clear this one towards center ice. They get tied up. No shots on that power play as Sanheim will move it around near side, picked up by Mazur. Carter Mazur. Simon Edmondson backhands it over to Andrew Kopp, starting to rush down the far side. There's 3:34 left in North Dakota season if they don't score twice. Tie up behind the net. Carter Mazur scoops it up. It comes back out to the front of the net, and that is stopped by Vlader. Owen Tippett leading the rush down the far side. Nothing doing there, and the Red Wings will start up with possession one more time. looking to expand on their 1-0 lead. Marco Kasper leads the rush. Kasper around behind the net, tries to find someone, and that takes a bounce. Andrew Kopp had it sticked away from him, and here's Christian Dvorak, the former Phoenix Coyote / Arizona Coyote. Pass across towards the slot, Tempest shot blocked. It comes back towards him near half boards. Kopp took the hit on him, and here's Dvorak, who mishandled it once, being chased down by Kasper. Fades it down low, and then back to the trailer for Ristolainen. Fakes the shot, now goes around the net. Ristolainen forehands it around towards the far half boards. Now back is Marteau of a one-timer. He scores! May have been deflected in front by Dvorak, but we're tied! A good cycle by Philadelphia, but this puck, as this was fired from the point by Marteau, Dvorak may have gone a stick on the puck. We don't know just yet, but Marteau, a quick shot. He scored his first career goal, an overtime winner against the Boston Bruins, 2-1. He let this one go from the point. It takes a bounce, and Dvorak may have altered the trajectory. He finds a tiny hole underneath Gibson, and that evens a score up at 1. Shots are 9-3 for Philadelphia, and the Red Wings recollect it from their own zone and lead the way far side. Dylan Larkin trying to get some ground here around Drysdale, could not. Puck is loose near corner. Michkov can't handle it. This goes back. Drysdale, Larkin saw him, feeds it near half boards. Finney kept it in. Blader plays this one out to the far corners. This takes a bounce to center ice. He'll be scooped back up by Chiarot. Ben Chiarot, with 6 minutes left in this first period, will look to right this ship for Detroit. Simon Edvinsson takes his place. He'll move it up near side for Patrick Kane. Had it poked away from by Sean Couturier. And move back up is Philadelphia. Another quick shot stopped by Gibson. He'll hang on with it. That's not before Sean Couturier and Mort Seider have some words for each other. A shoving match here. 5:45 left in the first. Both step away as the linesman will sell this one out.
All you gotta do is just all you gotta do is just
Meanwhile in Ottawa, Jake Sanderson, first game back from injury, he scores and leads the way. Drake Bafferson with the deflection. It is 2-0 Senators against the Florida Panthers, who have been eliminated from playoff contention. So there will be no free-peat bid. The last free-peat successfully remains with the 1980s New York Islanders, which is a 4-peat. 105 left in North Dakota season. Full start on this face-off. This will go against the Flyers. The second pairing of the third pairing, Johansson and Bernard Dockers out there. And leading the way to the fourth line of Couturier, Glendening, and Barkey. Coffer to take this face-off for the Red Wings. Glendening wins it. Back for Ristolainen. Couturier far corner. The captain. Johansson's on him. Right behind the net. Couturier. Whip around shot. Stopped by Gibson. And this will come back towards the near half boards. Couturier lifts it on the backhand. Behind the net. And the Flyers looking to get double up on their lead. Ristolainen shot blocked off a stick. And this puck actually came out to center ice. So this is going to be an offside. North Dakota has scored, by the way, with 51.8 seconds left. The question now is it too little too late? Face-off win, North Dakota with a set play, 6-on-5. They go behind the net and work this puck. 5:21 left in this first period. As Couturier and his line are on the bench. They get the first line of Zegras, Forrester, and Tippett on the ice. Both start against the Red Wings as Larkin's out, Finney comes in. And it's Zegras with the face-off win. Drysdale to York. Forrester sends this one deep, and Gibson will have to play this one. This goes by Zegras. Larkin's tied up, but it comes to Finney. Comes back out towards the left point. Forrester overskated, but collects it. Forrester goes down low for Tippett, and Owen Tippett had this one go out the boards up and off a stick. The Red Wings will want to clear. Lucas Raymond gets tied up. Emmett Finney trying to help out. He does, and it's Sherratt leading the way for Dylan Larkin. Larkin's backhander missed Finney. He'll hold it though. Intercepted by Drysdale, and it's Sherratt holding it from the near half boards. Raymond gets shoved down, holds it. Larkin, oh, that was a sharp angle shot, and that just kissed the goalpost. Here is Ben Sherratt resetting play. Fresh forwards on the ice for the Red Wings as they take their time with this. It's Alex DeBrincat. DeBrincat moving up far side. Sends it in deep. And right around the boards, that's Ristolainen. Gets hounded down by Kopp. From the far half boards, this gets by. Right point's held up by DeBrincat. Bouncing puck, it went off of Vlader's stick. Andrew Kopp tangled up. Patrick Kane with it. Kane feeds it out to DeBrincat. Near corner. DeBrincat wants to send this one for Kane. He is tied up. Andrew Kopp hounded down again. We have another stoppage with 3:59. 40 seconds left in North Dakota season. They have taken their timeout. The net came off. The net came off of Vlader's end. So we'll have to get back here in just a moment. Play jump around. The Wisconsin Badgers have upset the North Dakota Fighting Hawks. 2-1 is your final score. In the national semifinal, the Badgers are headed to their first national championship in men's ice hockey since being the national runner-up in 2010. What a year it's been for the Badgers. A hot start followed by getting ousted in the Big Ten tournament by Ohio State. And now, here they are on the way to the national championship game where they'll face the winner of Michigan or Denver. That's going to come up. Puck drop at 8:45 p.m. Eastern. John Knott has the call for that one. Andrew Kopp gets tossed out the faceoff circle. Here comes Patrick Kane to take it. And it's won by Travis Konechny, but the puck comes loose towards the right side. It's Jacob Bernard-Docker holding it. Back for DeBrincat, who cycled back behind the net. Gets tied up. Another Flyer rushes onto the puck. That's Ristolainen, who pokes it ahead for Couturier. First to the puck is Jacob Bernard-Docker on the way back towards the Red Wing zone. Fed across and moved up to DeBrincat. DeBrincat trying to find some help. He'll cycle it to himself off the near boards. Ristolainen in the way there, so was Sanheim. Rasmus Ristolainen. Reclamation project that developed under John Tortorella. He'll be scooped up by the Red Wings. 3:20 left in this first period. Christian Dvorak, the goal off of Porter Martone's shot. Albert Johansson moves it near side for Marco Kasper up the middle. It is James Van Riemsdyk cycling this one around and up the far side, fed back for Kasper. Kasper back for Shine, who tried to deflect it through. Not a fast-moving puck. Poked away by Detroit as they want to go back with this puck. Up the near side. Dominic Shine could advance it forward, but now he does, only for it to be poked back by the Flyers. Simon Edvinsson, first one back. Had it knocked away by Michkov. Edvinsson shoves Michkov twice. This puck comes to the escape of Seider. Watching is Alex Bupp, the Western Michigan product. Seider waits his timeout for the fresh players to get onto the ice. Now he's changed his spots with Edvinsson. Edvinsson leads the attack. Up the far side, Edvinsson to Seider. This takes a bounce off a stick. The Flyers scoop it up. Near side will be recollected by the Flyers momentarily, but it comes back for Chirot. Ben Chirot up the far boards. This gets retrieved by Cam York. York moves it up the middle. Moving back is Forrester. He'll wait his timeout as Forrester fires around the near side. 2 minutes left. It is David Perron for Ben Chirot. Chirot uses the air to find Mazur, and here's Comfort down the near side. The former Av. He cuts off one of the Flyers, Owen Tippett. Comfort digging after that puck at the near corner. This puck comes to the left circle, scooped up by Forrester, and out to center. Chopped away by Philadelphia. Chirot in a foot race with Tippett. And Chirot hounding down Tippett. And he grabbed his man down. Got him on a chokehold. That's an obvious penalty. He's going to go to the box for 2 minutes. Two minutes for holding, and that's the most obvious holding penalty in the world that one can commit. He grabbed Tippett by the jockstrap. And he brought him down. Ooh. So the Flyers will go back to work on the man advantage, where they have struggled all year long. And the Red Wings will have to go off another penalty. The Flyers got 3 shots on their first man advantage. Let's see what Todd Reardon draws up for the man advantage. He is the assistant and coach that's in charge of the power play under Rick Tockett's squad. The two have familiarity with one another, and they have connections to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Tocchet was previously the assistant coach, Mike Sullivan's Penguins. Reardon, formerly the head coach of the Washington Capitals, was the assistant coach to both Barry Trotz and Mike Sullivan back in those days. Far side has moved around back for Drysdale. Drysdale surveys. He'll carry this one towards the left circle, across for Zegras. Zegras, one-timer, there was a stick it away. That was Couturier, or rather Martone, who tried to shoot that. Red Wings tried to clear. John Gibson tried to do it himself. And here are the Red Wings with a short-handed chance. 1-on-1 chance, 2-on-1 if they hurry. On the right side, here's the pass coming out in front. And Kopp never saw that puck reach his way. Here's Drysdale resetting. He'll move it up for Zegras. Trevor Zegras will restart right back as he spins. And then use his speed to go up the middle. Zegras goes left side, now pass across. Here is Martone. Porter Martone watched by Albert Johansson. Around back for Forster, and here's Ristolainen on the hold. Right side, Zegras gets it over. 1 minute left on the power play, 32 seconds left in the period. Jacob Bernard Docker gets it away at the near quarter. The pass comes out in front. Nobody inside the slot. Too many stick checks in the way there, and the Flyers will restart with this near half boards. Zegras been out there on the first unit, now on to the second unit. Left poise, Ristolainen overskate the puck. Kept it on the backhand. Pass Forster. Now goes back down low. Zegras, top right circle, goes across. No shot there. Here's Ristolainen. Now here's the one-timer left side. And Gibson with the save. Forster, backhander. Didn't make it all the way through, and the Red Wings will try to clear this one out. And Ristolainen does not get the shot away on time. And pushing is shoving right after the whistle to end the first period. And here comes Rasmus Ristolainen against Dylan Larkin. Both their helmets are off. Shots 11-4 Flyers. But this has been defined by all sorts of pushing and shoving in the first period. The scraps and altercations here, you know that this is essentially a playoff game for both teams. And they're treating it as such. The fight for seeding is also important. We're tied at 1. And the shoving started from the swap between Jacob Bernard Docker and Porter Martone. Lucas Raymond came in and took exception to the shove from Martone. And Ristolainen wanted to fight Larkin. Neither dropped the gloves. We'll see what comes out of this heading into the second period, but the Flyers have carryover power play time to start the second. When we come back, it'll be the first intermission report. I'm Alec Nava. See you then. Even at 1, after 20 minutes of play, I am Alec Nava. Welcome to the first intermission report. The first goal scored by Alex DeBrincat. 2:28 into the first period on the power play. A beautiful backhander where he elevated that shot. 2 plays in a row where Lucas Raymond found him. It's the same exact play. DeBrincat from Raymond and Mort Seider. The tying goal from Christian Dvorak, from Porter Martone, and Travis Konechny. Martone with the initial shot was deflected in front by Dvorak for his 18th of the year. To go into our first period stats, shots are 11-4 Flyers, hits 12-7 Red Wings. The Flyers won 11 of the 17 faceoffs. They have total control of the faceoff dot. 2 penalties each. block shots 4-2 Red Wings. The lone takeaway to the Red Wings, and both teams are even and giveaways 2 apiece. And the Red Wings have the lone power play goal where they are 1-for-2 on the man advantage. So, as we look around the NHL in crucial playoff battles, the Penguins and Bruins can clinch playoff spots tonight. The Penguins are up 1-0 against the New Jersey Devils. And they can clinch a playoff spot with a win against the Devils in any fashion, a point against the Devils in any outcome in which the Blue Jackets lose. Or if the Blue Jackets lose in regulation and the Islanders lose in any fashion. The lone goal from the Penguins has come from Brian Rust. Igor Chinakhov and Chris Letang have the assists. As we look on crucial playoff battles, the Blue Jackets trailed the Sabres 1-0 in their playoff quest. Peyton Krebs has scored for Buffalo, his 12th of the year. Josh Norris, the former Ottawa Senator, has the assist. And speaking of the Buffalo Sabres, Alex Lyon could miss the start of the playoffs because of a strained lower body muscle. Head coach Lindy Rupp provided the update a day after Lyon was hurt during the pregame skate ahead of the Sabres' 5-3 win against the New York Rangers. Rupp said the initial prognosis is missing a week, adding there's a chance he won't be available for the start of the playoffs, which are scheduled for next coming weekend, April 18th, April 19th. The 33-year-old Lion has gone 20-10-4 in his first year in Buffalo while sharing the starting duties with Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Buffalo's carrying a third goalie, Colton Ellis, who was scheduled to face Columbus in his first start since a 31-save outing in a 4-3 overtime loss at Tampa Bay on February 3rd. So that is the latest here between Buffalo and Columbus. Ottawa's up 2-0 on Florida. As you take a look at the goals, Drake Batherson on the power play with Jake Sanderson and Brady Tkachuk and Fabian Zetterlund. With exactly 3 minutes to go in the first, Lars Eller and Jordan Spence the assists. Linus Ullmark has not been tested, but he has stopped all 5 Florida shots. Florida is dealing with a rash of injuries. Their season is over. Their only goal is for the draft. If you take a look at the injury list, Brad Marchand, Nico Mikla, Alexander Barkov, Jonah Gatovic, Evan Rodriguez, all with some form of injury on the injured list that's listed on ESPN. Not to mention several other notable players are not playing for the Panthers, including Sam Reinhart, Matthew Tkachuk, Anton Lundell, among them. Aaron Ekblad, Seth Jones to add on to that list. To go with Mikkel, as I mentioned. In that division battle between the Lightning and the Canadiens, there's no score between the two teams. And that battle has huge implications on the Atlantic Division. We already have one confirmed playoff matchup. The Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild will face off in the first round. Home ice advantage is TBD. The Lightning and Canadiens are at Montreal at Bell Center. Jakub Dobeš and Andrei Vasilevsky are the goaltenders. Vasilevsky 8 of 8, Dobeš 3 of 3. The lone nightcap game is Minnesota versus Dallas. Start time is at 9 p.m. Eastern. So you go on to the clinching scenarios for tonight. The Avalanche can win the President's Trophy of a win against Calgary in any fashion. And Dallas, Minnesota is the nightcap. For right now, we're seeing crucial playoff battles. The Islanders and Maple Leafs tied at 2 between these two teams. The Maple Leafs are already eliminated from playoff contention. The Islanders trying to salvage their collapsing season. Braden Shen and John Gabriel Pageau have the goals for the Islanders. Steven Lorentz and Easton Cowan on the power play, the latter for Toronto. So Jets, Blues, Wild Stars, Flames Avalanche, Predators Mammoth, Sharks Ducks, Golden Knights Kraken, Canucks Kings are the games of note. And the Avalanche can win the President's Trophy if a win against the Flames tonight in any fashion, a Carolina regulation loss against Chicago, or they get 1 point against Calgary and Carolina loses in any fashion. So the Bruins can clinch if Columbus loses in regulation, Detroit loses in regulation, or if the Islanders lose in regulation. So the Bruins need help tonight. The Oilers can clinch tonight with a Nashville regulation loss, a San Jose loss in any fashion, or if the Jets don't beat the Blues in regulation. The Mammoth can clinch with a regulation win, and the Sharks lose against the Ducks. So the Oilers can clinch. I have to say that the Bruins, to correct myself on the Bruins and Oilers, the Bruins can clinch with all of the following teams losing regulation: Columbus, Detroit, and the Islanders. The Oilers will clinch with all of the following: Nashville losing in regulation, Sharks losing in any fashion, and the Jets don't win in regulation against the Blues. The Kraken will be eliminated with a regulation loss. Nashville with either of the following: a regulation loss, Nashville wins in any fashion, or they get 1 point and either one of the Kings, Sharks, or Predators win. Those are the clinching and elimination scenarios for tonight. As we go around through the first intermission report, as the Canucks and Kings are set to face off on the late game tonight. The scores are all the same. Hurricanes, Blackhawks also set to face off later tonight. No games tomorrow, but there will be a big slate on Saturday. And there's an uncertain future brewing with Alex Ovechkin. He was upset when John Carlson was traded to the Anaheim Ducks. It looked like an end of an era, and the future is very uncertain with Ovechkin. He'll be a free agent this offseason, but who knows if there'll be retirement on the horizon with Ovechkin and the Great Eight. His Capitals are set to face off against the Pittsburgh Penguins this Saturday in the second to last game for the Capitals this season. The Capitals are the Washington Capitals as we know them, of course, have a tough uphill battle if they want to get back onto the standings. As we take a look at Washington's full schedule, they'll be facing off against Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh on Saturday. It's the first to last game of the season for them. Then they'll face Pittsburgh again 24 hours after that on Sunday, this time at Washington. And they wrap up their season at Columbus. Who knows? That Sunday matchup against the Penguins, who knows if that could be Ovechkin's last game at home at Capital One Arena, wearing the Washington uniform. So the full slate is as follows. It begins with Lightning Bruins, 12:30 Eastern. All times are in Eastern time, and I'm going in the order in which they follow. The 1 o'clock game is Senators Islanders. The 3 o'clock game, Capitals Penguins. The Lightning Bruins and Caps Pens games are nationally televised games on ABC. Then it goes on with the 4 o'clock game, which is Oilers Kings. The Gretzky rivalry renewed. Then the following 5 o'clock games: Hurricanes Mammoth, Devils Red Wings, Blues Blackhawks, Wild Predators, Rangers Stars. Then the following 7 o'clock games: Panthers Maple Leafs, Blue Jackets Canadiens, Flyers Jets, Flames Kraken, before an 8 o'clock ABC game between the Golden Knights and Avalanche. It's wrapped up with a 10 o'clock slate, Canucks Sharks. Then on Sunday, these games are all spread out wide, different time slots, and no two games are at the same time as one another except for 2 of them. It begins with Penguins Capitals, 3 o'clock Eastern on TNT. Then 6 o'clock games between the Canadiens and Islanders. Then the Bruins Blue Jackets on NHL Network. Senators Devils at 7, Canucks Ducks at 8, Mammoth Flames at 9 on Sunday. So that is the latest on the recent and scores. The updates throughout. And we have some recent news that Rob Francis is out as president of hockey operations with the Seattle Kraken. He is stepping down from his role at the end of the season, and the decision was mutually agreed upon. He was hired as the first general manager in the franchise's history and oversaw the expansion draft in 2021. He moved up to a president role last April, with assistant general manager Jason Botterill taking over as the Kraken's executive vice president and general manager. Per multiple sources, Botterill is taking over the totality of hockey operations duties when Francis formally steps down. Francis is called hockey royalty when hired as the first GM of the expansion franchise, having made the Hockey Hall of Fame during a 23-year playing career, including 2 Stanley Cups with the Pittsburgh Penguins. After his playing days, Francis spent 8 years running the Carolina Hurricanes, first as the director of hockey operations and then as general manager from 2014 to 2018 before becoming president of hockey operations. Although the Hurricanes never qualified for the playoffs during his tenure in the front office, he was hired to build Seattle from the ground up. The Kraken were not leveraging the NHL's could not leverage the NHL's new expansion draft rules the same way the Golden Knights did 2 years earlier. His teams were better prepared for it. That's one reason Seattle hasn't had near the success of Vegas, making the playoffs only once in their 5 seasons. 2023, their sophomore year, when the Kraken defeated the then defending Stanley Cup champion Colorado Avalanche, the first time the expansion team has ousted the defending Stanley Cup champions in their first playoff series. The Kraken are mathematically alive for a playoff berth, but those hopes could be quashed. When we come back, it'll be the second period between the Detroit Red Wings and the Philadelphia Flyers at Little Caesars Arena. I am Alec Nava. We'll be right back. It is 1-1 entering the second period. We are in this game, and Porter Martone wearing a Michigan State jacket, making his entrance at Little Caesars Arena. He hails from the Michigan State Spartans. 25 goals, the second most ever by an MSU freshman. College Hockey News Rookie of the Year. He made his NHL debut on March 31st. His first career NHL goal was on April 5th, which was 4 days ago, against the Boston Bruins in overtime. He is the first Flyer in franchise history to score his first career NHL goal in overtime. So Martone, he is a stud, and he is expected to be a fixture in the Flyers lineup for a while. And he's quickly making a good first impression for Rick Tocchet and Danny Briere, latter former Flyer and now the general manager of Philadelphia. Playing their home games at Xfinity Live Arena, formerly Wells Fargo Arena. Wells Fargo Center. And for Martone, having some discussions with the penalty box store operator. His Denver and Michigan are getting set to play in less than 40 minutes. Martone will sit in the box in a good first impression with the Flyers. As I said before, Rick Tocchet being the bench boss for the first season, his first season with Philadelphia. After spending the last couple of seasons with the Vancouver Canucks, guiding them to a playoff appearance in the 2024 season where they pushed the Edmonton Oilers, the eventual Stanley Cup runner-ups that year, to 7 games. And Tocchet having that same stare, that same look, the eyebrow raise. 10th year as an NHL head coach, first with Philadelphia. Records 40, 26, and 12. Tom McQuillan in his second year with the Red Wings. The Red Wings are 40, 29, and 9 this season. The start the second period is being delayed a bit. We have some more ice that needs to be scraped off at center ice. So the ice crew is working a little overtime here. So we're bringing you back on a flashback. Oh, so the Broad Street Bullies, as they used to be called, Rick Tocchet used to play for the Philadelphia Flyers and the Arizona Coyotes. Those are two teams in which he coached. Oh, man. And Chris Osgood once got to scrap with Tocchet in his playing career. How can you not love Ozzy? He is one tough customer. He says, "Get off me," to Tocchet. And Tocchet was a Boston Bruin. Well, he wishes he was back on the ice. Second period's underway. And we begin with 4-on-4 action. There is a roughing penalty against the Flyers at the end of that. That's against Porter Marteau. Quick shot by Dvorak, and Gibson gets run into. And here we go. And oh boy, Owen Tippett and Justin Falk with one another. I thought that was Tippett who ran into Gibson. We'll see what happened here as there's the feedback. And yes, Tippett and skated backwards towards Gibson. That is goaltender interference. Oh boy. I have to see if there's going to be a penalty called here. The penalty's on Rasmus Ristolainen. So the penalty's on Rasmus Ristolainen roughing. Porter Martone cross-checking. Lucas Raymond roughing. And now Rasmus Ristolainen for a minor penalty. Tippett gets 2 minutes for goaltender interference. And yes, that is obvious. He skated backwards, inadvertently ran into Gibson. And Chris Osgood will be one to take exception to that. 4-on-3 for 12 seconds. Face-off is won by the Red Wings. We'll see what they do here in this brief time. Patrick Kane's shot was blocked in front, recollected by DeBrincat. He goes down low for Larkin. Rare 4-on-3 here in regulation as Larkin goes back. Now it's a 2-man advantage for a minute 31. Kane, one-timer, Seider, he scores! Mo Seider! Another power play goal, and the wing wheel continues to roll with a man up. Seider aims top shelf of the slapper one-timer, top of the right circle. With the 5-on-3, you have more added space, but you cannot hesitate to make those quick decisions. And here, Seider made no mistake in aiming top left corner as Eminem plays for the second time here at Little Caesars Arena. This one took 32 seconds into the period. And the Red Wings will stay on the power play. It will be a 5-on-4 man advantage this time. We'll see if Detroit can strike again. 40 seconds gone in the second period. 1:33 on the power play. As handling this one is Patrick Kane. Down the near side as he moves in with speed. Kane, ever shifty with it. Backhands it in deep. DeBrincat tried to feed it back for Kane. Puck comes out over to Kane. On the return. Cross-ice pass was blocked by Couturier. It goes back for Seider at the point. Left side, DeBrincat. Cycles down low. It's actually Raymond, left circle. Raymond surveys from the far corner. Whiter doesn't have a stick. Here is Kane with it. Back for Seider. And as poked away by Philadelphia, possible 2-on-1 as Larkin hustles back, trying to defend Glendening. Instead, the pass missed. Glendening had it sticked away from by Seider, and the Red Wings will go back with it on the far side. This pass bounced off a stick, and the Flyers recollect trying to clear it out. It's grabbed by Patrick Kane. Bounced off of Sealers, held in by Larkin. Larkin centering pass. Didn't make it to Kane. Now Kane will settle down with it. Going back towards the right point, Seider. Kane, right circle. 30 seconds left. Patrick Kane going to Larkin. Larkin to the front. He scores! Lightning strikes twice! Dylan Larkin with the same move that Alex DeBrincat did on the first set play from Raymond to DeBrincat on the first power play, and Larkin made no mistake. This time it's Kane to Larkin, and Larkin said, DeBrincat, I'll get this one for you. Same move, he goes far side, and the Red Wings' 3 goals have all come on the man advantage. We're 150 into the second period. The Red Wings trying to salvage their season with this April push. 2 goals here for the Red Wings early in the second period. One of them coming on a 5-on-3. Off this face-off, Justin Falk feeds to the head. So the shot advantage is 11-6 Philadelphia. Flyers trying to answer back at Zegras. Zegras is tied up by Perron. Poked free to Chirot. Chirot elevates this one. This goes by Drysdale. Handled by Vladar towards the far half boards. Comfort keeps it in. Perron is down low, tied up by York. Perron shakes free. Zegras trying to poke it away. Comfort from the far corner. Has this one on for Chirot. Falk. Shot bounced off a skate. And it should go to a fan in the crowd. 3 times in which the Red Wings have scored. All of them have come on the power play. Once on the 5-on-3. They take a look at the official tally. Seider from Kane and Larkin. Larkin from Kane and Seider. It's all from the first power play unit. That's the common theme. Patrick Kane has tied Dale Hawerchuk for the 22nd most assists in NHL history. 891. And his bench recognizes this. They fist bump each other as Kane is moving up the NHL all-time leaderboards. Dvorak wins the faceoff and is moved towards the right side for Drysdale. A baseball swing from Dvorak, played away from him, and Kasper gets blown up by Konechny. And here's Dvorak for Martone as Konechny gets back up on his feet. Going down is Martone. We have a penalty here. This is going to be against Seider. 2 for holding. Officially. Board Seider hounds down Porter Martone along the boards, trying to play this puck. And gets caught holding him from right behind. The Flyers head back to the power play once again. An area in which they have been struggling. And one of their top penalty killers is going to have to sit down. To the top power play unit for the Flyers consisting of Forster, Cates, Zegras, Martone, and Drysdale. Falk and Chirot are out there. Chirot trying to get the early clear, in which he does. Riding along the far side. And Blader will play this one back for Drysdale. Comfort's on his face. Moved up. It's Zegras. Setting up for Cates. Noah Cates up the far side. A drop pass for Zegras. Across for Zegras. Zegras shot deflected, and that didn't reach it all the way. Maybe bounce off Gibson. Here's Falk. Had it knocked off of him, and Cates placed this one back for Drysdale. Pass is blocked, and here's a 2-on-1 chance. Rushing back is Forrester. Kerwin drag shot, stopped by Vladar. Trevor Zegras moves this up through the middle as the Flyers power play gets reset. Using the far boards to cut around. Edvinsson got in the way at the pass, and here's Johansson. Albert Johansson plays it all the way down. Vladar plays this one behind for Ristolainen as the second unit comes on for Philadelphia. Up the middle, this is Tippett for Dvorak. Christian Dvorak forced behind by Albert Johansson. Dvorak plays it back towards the right point where it's Michkov holding. Michkov around Larkin. Tippett places one around. This is out of Konechny's reach. The Red Wings try to clear. They cannot, but it's held by the Red Wings. Fired down the boards. Vladar will play this one out for Ristolainen. Rasmus Ristolainen trying to feed this one up. Wires this for Tippett. Tippett around the near boards. Driven back by Edvinsson or Falk. Another penalty is coming. Justin Falk 2 for tripping. Falk tried to play the puck with his stick. Instead, he clips the skate of Tippett. And that's going to be a 2-minute penalty. The Flyers have 29 seconds of 5-on-3 times, a 2-man advantage before they go back to 5-on-4. Still, Moritz Seider serving his time in the box. So Chirot is one of their penalty killers. He is out on the ice again. Zegras to take this face-off for Philadelphia as the Flyers get their top power play unit back out there on the ice again. Larkin, Edvinsson, and Johansson. Christian Dvorak to take it for the Flyers. He gets tossed out. 59.2% face-off probability for Larkin, one of the best face-off men in the entire NHL. Zegras takes Dvorak's place. And CJ Murray has to ready both of them up. And it's won by Detroit, but Philadelphia quickly jumps onto it. It's Dvorak from the far corner, pit by Edvinsson who wants to get it out. Zegras down low as he surveys behind the net. Zegras goes to Konechny. Now back towards the right side. Here's Forrester. Doesn't shoot it. Going down low and then back from Konechny. Forrester. Back across. The pass broken up. Forrester just keeps it in. Dylan Larkin wanted a breakaway. From the right circle. This pass batted by Edvinsson. Now back for Zegras. One man out of the box. Back over to Forrester for the top of the slot. Forrester's pass is blocked. And here comes a break. Dylan Larkin. The chance that he needed here. Racing back is Forrester. Larkin scores! Speed! Four, 1, Detroit. Dylan Larkin showcasing the speed off the block in front by Simon Edvinsson, and Larkin, who wanted the breakaway shorthanded before, doesn't get it the first time. Second time he gets it. And to answer the question, Laporta is the best. Unfortunately, I cannot show screens because of copyright issues. I've been asked this question multiple times, and the answer is no because of legal issues. So broadcasting this on the play-by-play audio is the best way to do it, and that's going to be it for Dan Vladar. Samuel Ersson is going to come in Vladar's place. The lead is 4-1 Detroit. Larkin doubles down. He has 2 in this period. Special teams has been the factor. And Vladar's allowed 4 goals on 8 shots on the night. Ersson played in a loss for Philadelphia previously against Detroit. This season, 13-11-5, even though he has gotten his track record back on track ever since the Olympic break. He and Vladar, both of them. As we get back here, the Flyers still on the power play, but they have a bigger hole to climb here. They trail by 3 goals. They wanted to cut it back to a 2-goal deficit. 1:05 left in a man advantage. As puck chopped away from them. and the Flyers' power play woes have worsened, especially with the shorthanded goal that they just gave up. Jamie Drysdale hounded down by JT Compher, but the Flyers will take this back in. Up the middle, the pass cut away by Kopp once and twice. Bernard Docker can't get this one out. It's held in for the right circle. No shot in there. Here's Drysdale for one-timer. Rebound chance! And Gibson with the save on the follow-up from Konechny. Near corner, Tippett placed this one out, but Drysdale wasn't set. So the Flyers will have to restart all the way back to their own zone. Ersson leads behind for Drysdale. Travis Sanheim leads this second power play unit as he weaves his wave from the right side. Edmondson in the way. 10 seconds left on the Flyers power play. And it wasn't much of a dangerous chance here this time around, especially on the 5-on-3. They didn't get much out of that. And as this second penalty ends, as Justin Falk gets back on the ice, the Red Wings will happily take that shorthanded goal from Dylan Larkin. Flyers trying to answer here, 5-on-5. Shots are 12-8, Philadelphia. From the near side, it's moved up the middle. Cut away by David Perron. Here's Johansson. Double teamed by Martone and Zegras. The Red Wings move back. The pass is intercepted by Couturier, but had it knocked loose by Kane. Up the middle, it's Kopp. Andrew Kopp leads this rush. Here is Alex DeBrincat on for Patrick Kane. Kane's shot blocked off a Steelers stick. He'll get the rebound back. Couturier took it away, and Patrick Kane will go back. Alex DeBrincat handling this one from the far corner of his own zone for Johansson. Johansson moves it up the middle to pass too far, but this will reach Ersson, so no icing here. From the near corner, here's a stretch pass that bounced off the stick of Couturier, and Couturier will scoop it up away from Bernard Docker. Set up pass in front doesn't work, but here's Sanheim with the hold. Back for Ristolainen, or rather Drysdale. Drysdale moves down low. Drysdale to the backhand. Couldn't get a clean shot off. And Couturier gets tied up by Bernard Docker. Clearing attempt from Sherratt is all the way out. Bouncing puck comes all the way for Ersson. And for the second straight time, it's no icing. And he'll hang on. And from beyond center, Philadelphia is not able to change. Dylan Larkin with both goals in this second period. What a switch it has been from the first period. And a few seconds into the second period, the Red Wings are up and rolling. 3 goals in the second. This faceoff will come to Ersson's right. Larkin against Couturier. Elite faceoff man against elite faceoff man. Couturier is tossed out. And so Glendening will swat in. Actually, that's Alex Bump who will take his place against Larkin. Larkin wins quickly, quick shot, and Ersson stops it. And so the Flyers will be rested this time. Dylan Larkin will have a pair of goals already on hat trick watch in this second period. One on the power play, one shorthanded. We'll see if he gets one even strength. I am Alec Nava. We'll be right back.
All you gotta do is just
Some news from around the NHL. Cole Caulfield is the Canadiens' first ever 50-goal scorer since 1990. Yes, it's been 36 years since the Canadiens last had a 50-goal scorer. Not even Max Pacioretty reached those levels. But now it's been the case. And Matthew Schaefer has just tied Brian Leetch's rookie defenseman goal record of 23. The front runner for the Calder Trophy is up and running. And he's going quickly and fast. 12:23 left in the second period. Red Wings win another faceoff cleanly. It comes back towards the point. Bernard Docker fires around the end boards. This comes back behind the net. Finney mishandled it. And it'll be picked up by the Flyers momentarily. Raymond overskate the puck. And it'll be scooped up by Philadelphia as Sanheim moves it for Couturier. Return feed is blocked off a stick. And the Red Wings trying to get this out. It's held in by Couturier. Stick handle. Oh, a shove along the boards. Staying here is Patrick Kane. Already tied. Dale Hawerchuk for 22nd assist in the NHL's all-time leaderboard. A backhander from deep was turned away off a block. Glendening hounded down, and this is the Red Wings trying to pick this up. The Flyers will have it, though. Sanheim leading the rush again. Here's Couturier. Quick shot, went wide. And this will roll all the way to Philadelphia's end. And they'll have to restart with Cam York. From behind the net, they'll move forward. York will send it to the right side and move further down the far half boards. Noah Cates applies the body at the far corner. Kane gets this one back, and Falk will leave it for Chiarot. Ben Chiarot, the former Montreal Canadian Winnipeg Jet. Here is Andrew Kopp. Short side shot was turned away. Justin Falk tried to pick this up. He cannot. And the chance to get this one out was denied. And this is going to be, I think, a penalty or offside. Noah Cates skates up. It's actually a penalty against Justin Falk. 2 for hooking. He's going to the box for the second time. Cates gets jostled at the puck, and this time Falk, there's no defense for this one. Falk hooked to Cates fair and square, right on one of the body parts, and the Red Wings go back to the penalty kill. Last we saw at the Flyers power play, it didn't end well. They gave up a shorthanded goal. They're 0 for 3 with 5 shots, and they allowed a shorty. And here is more to their power play woes. This faceoff comes all the way back to their own zone. Drysdale will set things up. Here's Zegras. Pass a little too far. It's held by Forrester from the near half boards. Back for Drysdale. Forrester on the give and go. Back down low for Konechny. Touch pass Forrester. Now Drysdale again. Drysdale surveys. Goes to Zegras. Bottom at the right circle. Quick shot to Gibson. It sneaks by! It looked to be Porter Martone to get this through, and it's 4-2. Went off the pad of Gibson and sneaked by ever so slightly. Second career goal for Martone as he put the rebound in. And Martone, just 4 days after he scored the overtime winner against the Boston Bruins, he strikes for a second career goal, first in regulation. And it's set up by Zegras. And so the Flyers are not out of this one. Detroit's still up. Albeit it's a 2-goal lead now. Philadelphia control it. They had the puck taken away from them. It's Perron. Had it bounce off his stick. And the Flyers will get this out the center. Poked away. Carter Mazur trying to get this back up for the Red Wings, but cannot. John Gibson leaves it behind for Justin Falk. This bounces out the center, picked up by the Red Wings. Mazur. Perron sends it in deep on the backhand. Retrieval by York. In the way was Comfer. Airing this one out the center, and there's one of the Flyers, and it's gloved down by the Red Wings. Falk had to go past him. He'll scoop it up away from Dvorak. Moved up through center. Here's Dylan Larkin. Larkin's hounded down by Marteau. Played out to center again. All sorts of Red Wings in the way on Konechny, Perron, and Raymond. Raymond tried to play it away. The Flyers advance though. flip down the ice. Gibson plays it to Bernard Docker. Off his stick. Here's Larkin on the stretch pass. Near side. Walking is Finney. He falls down. Ersson plays it out over to Andre. Emil Andre on his backhand. Can't play this out as it's controlled down the far half boards. Now back it around. Ersson sees it goes to his glove. And he'll hold on. Here in this second period, 4-2 Red Wings. I am Alec Nava. We'll be right back.
All you gotta do is just baby, you know you ready. 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 All you gotta do is just baby, you know you ready. 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 All you gotta do is just
John Gibson has gone down into the dressing room. This is an ongoing situation, so we are not sure of what is happening here. So Cam Talbot is taking the place of Gibson. We're assuring that this is an injury, we assume. So Gibson, we don't know what just happened. This is presumably because of the collision with Owen Tippett earlier in the game. And he got banged up as a result. So Cam Talbot is stepping in place of the injured Gibson. Not the first time that Gibson has been hurt this season, as Talbot is taking a place. Don't know if this is temporary or if this is for the rest of the game. And so we are back underway here with the Red Wings winning the faceoff. This comes back towards the front, and this goes wide of Ersson. Flyers trying to get it out again, and this takes a bounce, rolling to Detroit's end, and it's iced. Simon Edvinsson, the first one back, with Talbot in net. Shots are 15-12, Flyers. So earlier, Wisconsin has upset North Dakota to advance to the national championship. We're several minutes away from puck drop between Michigan and Denver. John Ott has the call for that one at John Ryan Ott on YouTube and Twitter. Here's Edvinsson on a blast. That's blocked in front. That is Tyson Forrester who took that block right off his knee. Andrew Kopp sets up behind for Alex DeBrincat, weaving his way down the right side. DeBrincat, sharp angle shot on Ersson that stopped. Puck is left behind over to Kane. Now back towards the point. Sider shot saved by Ersson. And the Flyers will get this one out for center. This is batted down. And it's play of a high stick by Moritz Seider. Simon Edvinsson touches up. So here, as we are continuing to monitor the situation with John Gibson, we have not know what exactly has happened. Faceoff is coming just outside the Detroit zone, won by the Flyers. So Gibson has gone down the tunnel, moved down the ice far side. Gibson left the game midway for the second period, hit by Tippett. We're assuming that's because of that play. Drop pass left circle, save Ersson. And the rebound dangerously on an open net came wide of him, but nobody was there. Travis Konechny gets shoved by Edvinsson, or rather Falk. He'll leave behind for Raymond. Brace himself for a hit from Martone. Held in left point, goes down low, and this pass never made it all the way to the slot on the tie-up. And here is a 2-on-1 off of Dvorak. Kane and Raymond. Raymond on the backhander back. Mishandled. Or rather, that's Emmett Finney. Gibson may have been shaken up early because of the Tippett hit. So we're watching that. A missed 2-on-1 chance. That was too tough to handle for Emmett Finney. Back up ahead. Here is coming right on a goal, and it's sticked away. That was Alex Bump up the middle. Here's Bump again. Fires wide the goal. Rebounds free. It's picked up by Detroit. Glove down by Cam York. He is shoved towards the half boards. And Detroit could not get it out. Almost all the way, but almost isn't good enough. Noah Cates holding at the left circle. Spinning and turning around Johansson. Cates gets forced into that corner. Cates still with it. Handling on his own. Now around for Bump. Bump spins and tries to deliver it back. The Red Wings take it away. Another 2-on-1. Raymond, this time of it. Raymond fires. He hits the outside the post. Oh my goodness. That's twice now on the 2-on-1. And wish they came close to going up 5-2. Here is David Perron as he centers one up. Here's Edvinsson, fires around the near side. And this will be settled down by Simon Edvinsson himself. Cycles it back down low for Comfer. Gets caught up in the traffic. Perron at the near corner. Perron left it behind. Mazur for Comfer. Comfer tried to tuck it past Ersson. Could not. He hugged the left post. His left post, that is. Perron. Mazur could not get this out the way, and the Flyers will have a chance here up the left side. Luke Glendening with Sean Couturier with him. Couturier, watched by Sider, he delivers it back right point. Travis Sanheim holds, looks for deflection, rebound is up for grabs, is sent back down the leg of the ice. Sanheim picks it up from his own zone. That was not all the way for an icing, and this gets fed up the far side. Icing waved off as this takes a bounce off a Flyers stick, past the red line. Trevor Zegras, all down from behind. He's shoved by Moritz Sider. Play continues on. Edvinsson going back around far side. Pass too far and Ristolainen will reset. Ristolainen up the middle. Here's Tippett. Owen Tippett gets knocked away by Kane. And Forrester denied entry by David Perron. Up the far side. The Flyers come back with this. Down the right side. Cycling is Ristolainen. Lost control of the puck. It's backhanded out to center by Kane. Nick Seeler in control. Alex DeBrincat chasing after him. Seeler comes back up front of DeBrincat. DeBrincat still in pursuit. Seeler dumps it in. Talbot plays it out. Almost gets run into by Seeler. DeBrincat tried to clear. Glove down from the point. And is just forced inside. They're going to call it offside. Just outside across the line with 5:09 left. And the Flyers are going to disagree with that. But the Red Wings will take it. Lucas Raymond was so close to make it a 5-2 hockey game. It just kissed the outside the post. We're still 4-2. Red Wings leading.
All you gotta do is just no, baby, you know you ready. 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 All you gotta do is just no, baby, you know you ready. 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 All you gotta do is just all you gotta do is just
So we have not yet received status on John Gibson just yet. For the time being, Cam Talbot is in the net for the Red Wings. He is the goaltender right now. Backup goaltender. His season taking a downward spiral, but he can use some motivation soon enough. Filling in for Gibson, who was knocked out cold by Tippett. 5 minutes left here in the second period. And everything has gone right in the first half of the second period. Here is Kopp moving up near side. Backhander across the net. Never made it all the way through. And here are the Flyers moving back. Here's Travis Konecny. Moves it across over to Dvorak. Batted down by Konecny. Tries to get it out from midair. And Talbot saw it all the way. 4:46 to go. And Ben Sherratt is watching all along Konecny this entire time. These two are not letting go of each other. They're still shoving away at each other. And Konecny says, "Give me that stick." The puck batted down by Konecny through midair as this bouncer went on to Talbot all the way. Cam Talbot with the stop. And Travis Sanheim, Andrew Kopp had wars for each other right afterwards. Alec Nava here with you. Presumably on the solo call the rest of the way. Unless Ian Genji joins along. Which I always appreciate his company. Simon Edvinsson off the face-off win by the Red Wings. Sends this down the far side. Will this make it to Ersson? No. Icing. Denver and Michigan in the national semifinal. Emmett Finney on this top line with Larkin and Raymond. And it's the goaltenders Jack Ivankovic for the Wolverines and Johnny Hicks for the Pios. Edvinsson off another face-off win for the Red Wings. Sent this one back. And here's Seider. Bouncing puck. He'll lob this one up for center. Bounced off a Flyers. Play of a high stick. Off of one of the Flyers. Matvei Michkov. Simon Edvinsson had this one played off of the referee, actually. And that hit the referee. One of them is the referees Dwyer and Gord Dwyer, Brandon Blandina, being our two referees for this game. Far side, the Flyers trying to move this one up to try and cut within the Red Wings lead. Beating out the icing is Emmett Finney. What speed he has. Finney pinned by Cam York trying to fight for this loose puck. Dylan Larkin's also there. Looks like a sandwich here. You got Finney, you got York, you got Larkin, and you got Drysdale, all one on top of one another. Play out towards the right point is Seider. Shot is blocked by Cates up front. And Philadelphia trying to clear this. They cannot through the far half boards as it's taken up off of bump, and they get this one down finally. And so the Flyers can change lines. More Seider in control, sent it up the middle. Bouncing puck, this hits the wall. In pursuit, it is James Van Riemsdyk who plays it free for Marco Kasper. Kasper whip around pass back for JVR. Dominic Shine gets shoved once. Back towards the right point. Seider fakes the shot and then goes back over to JVR. Loose puck left for Shine. JVR is also tied up. Here's Kasper. Kasper spins. Kasper still with this one, hanging onto it. Back for Seider. Seider of a long shot, or rather that's Bernard Docker. That's blocked nonetheless. And Van Riemsdyk plays this one down low over to Dominic Shine. Left is behind left side. Around the net. Albert Johansson, lazy pass. He wanted Jacob Bernard Docker, but nobody's there. Red Wings can't touch up. This would have been offside if this was the case. Cam York on the handle. He'll defer for Emil Andre. Up the middle. Owen Tippett back across for Andre. As this goes back around for the boards, the Flyers are trying to figure things out to generate offensive chances. They've been on a roll. The Red Wings trying to stop that and put it into their skid. They have not won consecutive games in the same month since January. The Red Wings, that is. Ersson plays it out. Perron gets shoved towards the corner. Near side as Sealer plays this one from behind. Mazur trying to poke this one out, but can't. Zegras pinned to the wall. Here is Owen Tippett. Tippett up front. And we have a scrap. Or no, I was watching the Denver-Michigan game, excuse me. From the right point, here is Ristolainen pivoting. Ristolainen defers right side, top of the right circle. Kick save Talbot, he'll keep the play alive for Falk. Justin Falk moves ahead. Looking for help, he'll instead dump this down the distance and go for a change. 1:43 left in the second period. Here's Ristolainen. Down the near side, he'll dump it in. And recollecting is Moritz Seider. Seider. Back across, it is Chirot who'll move this one up. Andrew Kopp moves this one down. In pursuit, the Brinket and Ristolainen. The bigger Ristolainen almost got it. It'll be sent to Konechny. Now it's Sanheim. Moved up, there are several sticks in the way. The Flyers move it down the far side. Ristolainen weaves his way by, but an offside is called. Ristolainen wanted to get another chance, and the Red Wings, they trailed the Senators by 3 points for the final wild card. The Blue Jackets trail 1-0 to the Buffalo Sabres. Ottawa is up 2-0 on the Florida Panthers at the second intermission. Detroit needs to string together several wins and for the Senators to have a collapse as monumental as Detroit did throughout the month of March. Flyers win the face-off. This will come back around for Edvinsson. Edvinsson handles right behind the net. Edvinsson controls still. Slowly make his way towards the near side boards. Raymond trying to play this ahead, which he does. Now chopped ahead in the final minute. Raymond trying to weave around York. And trying to help out is Finney. Detroit wants a 3-goal lead, which is more comfortable than a 2-goal lead, knowing how dangerous that lead is. Both free by Finney. Comes back to the right point for Seider. Here's Edvinsson. Rolling around for Lucas Raymond. He switches spots with Edvinsson. Throws one towards the net, and Edvinsson gloved it down. 36.2 seconds left in this second period. Shots are cut down to 17-15 Philadelphia. 4-2 lead for the Red Wings. As Denver and Michigan just began their game. Shots are 6-3 Pioneers. So they're looking for their third national championship of this decade. A dominant run for the Pios. Andrew Kopp and Luke Glendening at the faceoff circle. Kopp gets a false start against them. The linesman delaying here. Now gets set. Kopp wins the faceoff. This will be gloved down just across the blue line. 30 seconds to go in the period. And the Red Wings trying to expand on their lead, which they will get a benefit here. There's an icing against Philadelphia. A potential first-round preview between the Flyers and Penguins not out of the horizon. The Islanders trying to fight for their playoff lives, as we said again. We'll check in with the scoring updates at the second intermission report. Another face-off win by the Red Wings. Johansson keeps this one in the zone. Across for Kane, a shot went off of Ristolainen and wide the net. Tries a sharp angle shot. That never made it through. 10 seconds left, and the Red Wings will have one last chance. Kopp pinned towards the penalty box doors, and it's played by the Flyers. 5 seconds, gloved down by Detroit, sent up ahead. Nothing doing there. Not far enough for an icing, and that's how the second period comes to a close. The 3 goals in the first 5 minutes of the second period proved to be the difference for the Red Wings to take a 4-2 lead. Porter Martone is a lone tally the second period for the Flyers on the power play. Special teams has been the story. Every goal except the Dvorak goal has been scored on special teams. When we come back as the second intermission report, I am Alec Nava, and we'll see you then. about special teams, how special it is. After 40 minutes, 4-2 Red Wings, 5-6 goals scored on special teams. 4 of them power play goals, 1 even strength goal, and 1 shorthanded goal. To recap that second period, Mort Seider, 32 seconds in from Patrick Kane and Dylan Larkin. Then Larkin from Kane and Seider. And then shorthanded, Larkin from Albert Johansson. Those 3 Red Wings goals have all taken place in a span of 4 minutes and 4 minutes and 24 seconds. Porter Martone answers back with a power play goal of his own. Trevor Zegras and Jamie Drysdale the assists. To give you a summary for the team stats in the second period, shots are 17-6 Flyers, hits 19-6 Flyers. The faceoffs have been more in favor of the Red Wings in that second period, 21-18, to even things out. Power play opportunities, 1 for 5 are the Flyers, 3 for 4 are the Red Wings. And the Red Wings have the lone shorthanded goal. Block shots, 10-5 Flyers. Takeaways, 3-1 Red Wings. Giveaways, 8-7 Red Wings. And going back onto scoreboard watching here in the NHL, the Penguins lead the New Jersey Devils 3-2. In this game at Prudential Center, the Penguins can clinch with a win in any fashion. They lead 3-2. And the second period goes from Tommy Novak, from Evgeny Malkin and Erik Karlsson, and Igor Chinnikov from Ryan Shea and Sidney Crosby. The Devils goals from Paul Cotter, assisted by Dougie Hamilton and Brian Hallinan, and Jack Hughes from Jonas Siegenthaler and Connor Brown. Luke Hughes is done for the year. What a nightmarish year it was for him. Hurricanes versus Blackhawks may not have any importance at first glance, but here's the deal. If Carolina loses in regulation, Colorado clinches the President's Trophy. Sean Walker has the first goal, 19 seconds into the game. Nikolai Ehlers has the assist. Anton Frundell, second career NHL goal. Louis Crivier, the assist. Now the Islanders lead the Maple Leafs 4-2. And to answer back on the Easton Cowan goal on the power play, Matthew Schaefer, who just tied Brian Leetch's rookie record for most goals by defensemen as a rookie with 23. The assist from Tony DeAngelo and Andre Palat. And then on the power play, Emil Heineman from Matt Barzal and DeAngelo to make it 4-2 Islanders. The Jets and Blues are tied at 1. Alex Iafallo has answered back on Dylan Holloway's goal. Holloway on the power play from Robert Thomas and Philip Broberg. Iafallo from Mark Scheifele and Hayden Fleury. The Canadiens strike first against the Tampa Bay Lightning. They finally solved Andrei Vasilevsky. Firing 16 shots at him, Vasilevsky stopped 15 of them. Jakub Dobich has stopped all 10 Lightning shots. Cole Caulfield from Nick Suzuki and Yuri Slafkovsky. That is the only goal of the game between the two of these teams. Sabres still lead 1-0 against the Blue Jackets in the third period. Columbus needing to win here. But a Columbus loss can help the Bruins a lot. As the Bruins need all 3 of the Blue Jackets, Red Wings, and Islanders to lose in regulation. But none of these are set to happen. Except for the Blue Jackets one, in all likelihood, as that is the strongest case. Wild versus Stars is going to start soon. And it's a 9 o'clock game between the two teams, in which we're getting a first round preview between these two. Home ice advantage is TBD between them. The last time they met was in 2023, in which the Stars defeated the Wild in 6 games. And Denver has just scored the first goal against Michigan. Would not be surprising if we saw Denver go to the national championship game. The Stars will host the Stars and Wild will meet in the Western Conference quarterfinals. The home ice advantage, of course, as I mentioned, is TBD. The Stars spent the first 26 seasons of the franchise existence in Minnesota as the North Stars. They take on the Gopher State's current NHL team, the Wild. The first round series is set when the Avalanche clinched the Central Division. Home ice advantage, as I mentioned again, and I sound like a broken record saying this, TBD. The Stars had a 5-2 victory at home in the first matchup on October 14th. Rope Hintz recorded a goal and 2 assists. Essa Lindell, Wyatt Johnston each netted a tally and set up another. Minnesota returned the favor on its own building in December 11th. Marcus Johansson scored twice. Matt Boldy registered a goal and 2 assists. The Wild got the upper hand in the season series with a 2-1 overtime win at home on March 21st. Bobby Brinks tallied for Minnesota regulation before setting up Vladimir Tarasenko's winner in the extra period. 5-minute extra period. No matter which team finishes second to Central against home ice advantage, this is going to be a tight series. Minnesota hasn't won a playoff series in 11 years. Dallas has reached a Western Conference final each of the last 3 seasons. Philip Gustafsson and Jesper Wallstedt are tied for third in the NHL 4 shots apiece. Jake Ottinger has an .899 save percentage, though he has proven his track record in the playoffs. Ottinger was also in the crease for the Stars when they faced the Wild in 23, allowing just 3 goals on 85 shots and posting his second career playoff shutout in Game 5 in the final 3 games of the matchup. Both teams have a pair of 40 goal scorers, Mikko Rantanen and Kirill Kaprizov. Stars also have that potent playoff offensive weapon in Rantanen. Clips a 20-point plateau 3 times in the postseason, including last year. They have 3 points 5 times in a span of 6 games against the Avalanche and Winnipeg Jets, finishing a 22 and 18 overall contests. So this is the first series that was announced. And it looks like this is going to be tighter. Minnesota's hoping that third time is going to be the charm. And Ottawa has just scored again on Florida to make it 3-0. We're going to take a look at the playoff preview between Minnesota and Dallas. Now, this is a toss-up, and honestly, I'll say Minnesota's defensive structure has changed completely with the acquisition of Quinn Hughes, collapsing the slot, which forces Dallas to play from the perimeter, which they struggle with. And the Stars are more top-heavy this season compared to years past, although they have the proven track record in the playoffs. But the Stars' 5-on-5 play has been the bottom half of the league this season, and majority of their offense has come from an elite power play. If Minnesota gets penalty trouble, Dallas is going to win, but that's risky to rely on. Minnesota has doubled Dallas' expected goals in their 3 games against each other this season. And Gustafsson has been okay in big games, but the benefit is that they have Wallstedt, who's been great. The defense has been elite, especially against Dallas. And Dallas, do take into account they played a lot of hockey over the last 3 seasons, making the conference finals over the last 3 years, as I said. They've lost in those conference finals every single time. Once to Vegas, twice to Edmonton. And 2 of those series went to 6 games. So, and that was a concern. And it's a very hard decision. In Minnesota, at the Achilles heel, it's a lack of center depth. Unless the son of it steps up between Joe Eriksson, Ryan Hartman, Danila Yurov, Michael McCarron. You can say Nick Foligno in this discussion as well, the trade deadline acquisition. So you go on to the current lineups and what we can expect for them entering this playoff series. Minnesota's playoff lineup is going to look very different compared to the 2023 series. And of course, with the defensive core with Quinn Hughes leading the way. So here is Dallas's lineup, which begins with Jason Robertson on the top line. You can say Wyatt Johnston is going to be the top line center. So currently, Dallas is dealing with a bunch of injuries. Michael Bunting, Nathan Bastian, Rope Hintz, and Sam Steele Nils Lundqvist are all injured. Radek Faksa is on the IR. Tyler Seguin will not return this season. So the Stars have Robertson, Wyatt Johnson, Mikko Rantanen, Jamie Benn, Matt Duchene, Maverick Bourque, Justin Hertzkowian, all part of this top 9 group. And Hertzkowian has emerged into a key piece on the Stars lineup, while the Wild have been balanced throughout. Kirill Kaprizov, Matt Boldy, Joe Erikssonek, Marcus Johansson, Vladimir Tarasenko, among others. Matt Zuccarello, Ryan Hartman, Danila Yurov. You say the least on that top 9 group. And that bottom line looks feisty. Not to mention the trade deadline acquisition, Bobby Brink, what they got from the Philadelphia Flyers. And he added to that. So when we come back, it'll be the third period. The Red Wings lead 4-2. I am Alec Nava. Stay tuned. The Red Wings scored 12th on the power play entering this game, which isn't bad. But 3 power play goals in this game are huge, especially considering that the power play for them is where they thrive at. 5-on-5 play, they've struggled. But it's been the special teams that have been the huge factor for the Red Wings all game long. All 4 goals on the special teams, 3 on the man advantage, 1 with a man down. And Dylan Larkin has scored twice. One of a man has scored twice. One of them on the power play. One of them shorthanded. Detroit wanted to triple up on their lead. They're up 4-2 as the third period is getting set. And we're underway. It is all the way back for Cam Talbot as he places out towards the left side. Emmett Finney all the way up ahead as will be touched up by Travis Sanheim. Christian Dvorak and Sanheim combine onto this puck far corner as the Flyers want to clear it out. Konechny. Dvorak sells it down a bit. Drops back over to Konechny. Konechny waits and then goes up ahead. wanting Dvorak. He gets tied up. Sent on towards the far corner. And still, we have seen Talbot in the net, 39 in red. Play to Emmett Fitty. Now behind, over to Raymond. Up for Larkin. Dylan Larkin takes it in. From the right point, it's Patrick Kane. That went off a leg. And the Flyers will reset with the puck with possession. Drysdale and York. Fed over to Drysdale as he surveys and dumps in from the red line. Back up for Owen Tippett. Across the ice for Trevor Zegras. Zegras gets pinned by Andrew Kopp. That allows Tippett to pick up the puck at the near corner. He'll cycle back for Zegras. And Tippett gets slammed down towards the ground. Controlling for the point. Drysdale with a deep shot. That's turned away by Talbot and out of play towards the netting. A minute 10 into this third period. And Patrick Kane, in 186 games with the Red Wings, has totaled 56 goals and 105 assists. That's 161 points for the future Hall of Famer. He said mostly as a role player and not the superstar that he was. Not expected to carry the team like he did with the Chicago Blackhawks. Kane is 4 assists away from passing Phil Housley for 21st on the assist list. Behind the net, Cates. Off this face-off, Alex Bump. Hangs onto it, right point, deep shot went wide. It'll be Perron picking it up for the Red Wings. Second goal round with the team, acquired for a 4th round pick. Sends it down the distance. Sanheim and Drysdale will switch it up. Jamie Drysdale watched by Carter Mazur. Drysdale his twitches and turns from the near corner is forced all the way back. Mazur has to go off onto the bench. Stood it up. Now Drysdale sends it to length. Moving it up towards the near side, or it's Bump. Alex Bump weaving his way through. And now around for Bernard Dockers. He couldn't pick it up. Michkov trying to leave behind. Michkov shoved once, twice. One-timer saved by Talbot. From the far corner, Michkov gets rid of the puck. Cates keeping it in the zone down low. Kasper takes it away. Kasper flings it around corner to corner. And on the near side, this is Albert Johansson. Johansson plays it on a soft chip and chase down the near side. The brink is the first one to the puck, or rather Kasper. It's held in. Opposite corner at the right wing. As Kasper kept it in down low, he is battling 2 Flyers. One of them being Nick Seeler. Poke free, and it comes out in front. This takes a bounce, and is grabbed by Detroit. Going all the way past the right point. Sider takes a slapper, now takes a slapper right around the end boards. Konechny plays this back. It'll be the Flyers getting this down the ice. Porter Martone to the middle. Dvorak surveys, right point. He takes it out, he doesn't like what he sees. Ristolainen will reset, and it's moved up to Dvorak. And then back across. Travis Sanheim back for Rasmus Ristolainen. Ristolainen has this pass bounce off a stick. And trying to slap it through. Back over to Larkin this goes. And here's Raymond. Wanting to feed it back for Larkin. Instead it goes off of Forrester. Zegras resetting. Tippett activates up the far side. Walking around Falk. He falls down. Justin Falk pointing this one away. But it's held in by Philadelphia. Rasmus Ristolainen of a lane. Deflected. And that's wide the net. The Red Wings get this out again. From center ice it's knocked down. And Detroit places off the near boards. Chirot sent it in deep. Ayerson plays it behind. No shots for the Red Wings in this period yet. Already the Flyers have 2 of their own. Ristolainen. From the near side sends it from near to far for the corners. Ben Chirot will reset. Using the boards to try and find Raymond. Played by Philadelphia. Up the far out boards as Forster sends it in deep again. Chirot knocked away from Tippett. The Brinket moves it up. Near side. Kopp. Wanting to find Kane. Knocked down by York. Kane on the hold right side. Patrick Kane is doubled up. Andrew Kopp. Far corner. Sends it back all the way. Bernard Docker. Johansson. Kerwin drag move. Nice stick there by Philadelphia's Luke Glendening. Back down low for Kopp. Patrick Kane got shoved off. And meanwhile, the Wolverines have tied the game against the Pios. 1-1 with 3:42 left. Philadelphia moving up the far side. Tied up was Denver Barkey. Jacob Bernard Docker can't find this man. It's held in by the Flyers. Matvei Michkov surveys, or rather Emil Andre. Down low this goes for Cates. Cates spins and turns around. Johansson gets away from him. Can't find this man. Here's the Brinket. From the near side. Slowly make his way up the ice. Cates is on him. He'll deliver back for Edvinsson. Simon Edmondson swinging a miss on the pass, and on the way back are the Flyers, as this is Beachcomb all the way back. Andre's shot is blocked as we go all the way back to the Philadelphia zone. Ersson plays it out. Nick Sealer up the far half boards. This takes a bounce, and Detroit will keep it in for a brief moment before Konechny pokes it forward. Konechny gets his stick lifted, and Philadelphia have to reset. Dvorak plays this back to Ristolainen. Rasmus Ristolainen playing heavy minutes with the Philadelphia Flyers. He sends this in off a stick. Moritz Seider gets hounded down. He's held up. He's held up at the boards. One-timer left side. Save Talbot. He'll hang on with 14:19 to go. And Dylan Larkin, or is that Simon Edmondson rather, he didn't like the way that Dvorak held him up. He thought that there should have been a penalty. 2 minutes for holding. And nothing there. By the way, in the meantime, Elliot Cadeau has agreed to a deal for him to return for senior year for Pete Thamel of ESPN. He's running it back with the Wolverines. The Talbot's still in goal. It's 1-1 between Denver and Michigan. Face off to Talbot's right. So he has seen both the starting goaltenders and the backup goaltenders in this game. Dylan Larkin to take this face-off against Christian Dvorak, won by Dvorak. Konechny sends it back, and now right side is Ristolainen. Ristolainen sends it to the slot, no deflection. Lucas Raymond tried to clear, is held in by Konechny. Pass across to make it all the way, and here is Dvorak. Through two Red Wings, have this puck go out to center ice. Dvorak scoops it back up, and it'll be Ristolainen who set up from his own zone. Down the near side is Dvorak, weaving his way through past Larkin. Here's Marteau of it, right circle. Marteau fires, and that's sticked away by Talbot. Travis Konechny on the hold. Here's Ristolainen. Soft pass down low for Marteau, near corner. Dvorak gets held up at the near corner by Dylan Larkin. Here's Marteau through traffic, could not get a shot away. It is 2-1 Wolverines as Michigan has just scored again. Lucas Raymond taking inside. Raymond, quick shot, glove down by Ersson. He'll hang on to it. Wanted the deflection in front from Justin Falk. Didn't get it. It's still 4-2 Red Wings with 13:34 left in the third period.
All you gotta do is just all you gotta do is just
It is official per Evan Siddery and Ian Rappaport. The Jacksonville Jaguars are making Travis Hunter a full-time corner. So he's going to be their lead shutdown corner for next season. Moritz Seider soccered the puck to himself, and if we look at the defensive work that Seider's been doing all game long, it's been outstanding. His defensive work has been phenomenal all throughout. That's why he is the premier shutdown defenseman for the Detroit Red Wings. And he's an all-round defenseman. His offensive game is taking a step. Here he is with the puck on the backhand to Edmondson. Simon Edmondson from the near half board cycles his one around on the ice. Sanheim cut that one away, and here's Forrester. Tyson Forrester sends this down the length of the ice to the far corner as Seider played away from traffic. It is Edmondson. Moving it through the middle. Here's the breaker with it. With speed. Drops it off for Kane. Kane all the way across looking for Edmondson. It took a while to reach him. Now back behind the net. It's Kopp. Back for Kane. Patrick Kane to more Seider at the point. Edmondson left side. Centering pass. Score! Showtime! The first even strength goal scored by the Red Wings in the entire game gets their free goal lead right back. And an excellent cycle play all throughout set that up. It is Kane, one-timer, bottom of the right circle. It was Simon Edmondson setting him up all the way across, a perfect pass. And a perfect shot for Kane, wide open as the Red Wings looking to cut back onto the Senators' second wildcard spot. 1-0, 0 chance, and it's 5-2. Philadelphia sends it in with Cam Talbot playing this one out far side. Justin Falk sends it the length of the ice. It's bouncing towards the Flyers zone. Will be picked up by Ersson, played away from Emil Andre, but held in by the Red Wings' Carter Mazur. Mazur trying to play on his back end. Glover's a forehand intending for Perron. Shakes off of one Flyer. Perron looks near corner. Now back for left point. Chirot to Falk. Justin Falk sends it around. This is David Perron back for Carter Mazur, who gets sticked away by Noah Cates. He'll deliver far side for Alex Bump, who shakes off one Red Wing. He now take it himself. Long shot forced wide off a stick and out of play. And meanwhile, it's Logan Stankoven who scores for Carolina. 2-1 Hurricanes as most of the Canes roster is not playing tonight. Florida's cut back to within 2 on Ottawa, but it looks like it's too little too late. Meanwhile, Buffalo leads 2-0 on Columbus, which is good news for the Boston Bruins. And Kane is 46 for most goals in NHL history. He's just past John Beliveau to stand alone at 46th place. Quick shot off the face-off, and it's blocked away by Talbot. Rebound comes loose into the front. And Lucas Raymond picks it up. I stuttered there, excuse me. Emmett Finney plays it off himself. Jamie Drysdale is the first to scoop it up for the Flyers. Up the far side, Trevor Zegras sends it down. Caught away by Dylan Larkin up the far half boards, and it's played to Finney. Off of Raymond. Good sticking away by the Flyers to nullify that threat. Good glove down to counter that from Simon Edmondson. Set the length of the ice. The Flyers will reset with the puck. And Detroit is changing their lines. They get their new guys on the ice. This is Christian Dvorak leading the rush down the near side. He has Porter Martone with him. Sicked away, and it's Travis Konechny. Konechny lifted free by Kopp. Held in by Martone for a brief moment. Emil Andre knocked it forward. Taking back with his Konechny. All the way across for Martone. A quick shot went up high and wide. This will go down towards the Flyers' end. Flyers will be restarted by Emil Andre. On the trailer, it is Patrick Kane. Back towards the far side, near the Flyers bench. Only for it to be stolen by DeBrincat. DeBrincat, curling drag. That is airmailed above the crossbar. The Flyers see this puck go out to reach on the pass for Martone. It'll be Seider going up for David Perron. Perron up the boards. Ersson slowed it down. Mazur keeping his one alive for Detroit. Mazur from the far corner cuts in front. And he lost it at the last moment. Travis Sanheim restarts. Philadelphia down by 3 goals again. Tippett's pass intercepted. It'll be reset by Detroit. Moving up the middle, it is Justin Falk. The former St. Louis Blue. Moves it down the near side. Recollected by JT Compher. Gets shoved away by Sanheim. Ristolainen played it for Forrester. Near the bench. Return feed Ristolainen. Here's the right point for Owen Tippett. Back all the way across. A quick shot from Sanheim. Was blocked away by Talbot. Still a play far corner. Red Wings take it up. Rasmus Ristolainen see it go past him. And Emmett Finney trying to drive to the net. Ristolainen wouldn't allow him to. Finney tried to feed in front. Could not. Lucas Raymond poked it free. And Trevor Zegras shoves his man towards the boards. It's held in by Albert Johansson and back for Larkin. Right point. Lucas Raymond's shot blocked. This will come back towards center ice is Johansson. Albert Johansson plays it around the end boards. It is Ayrton who will slow it down. Dylan Larkin. Here's a whistle of 9:40 left. So we'll come back later here. The winner of Michigan versus Denver will face the Wisconsin Badgers in the national championship game. We'll be right back in a moment here. I am Alec Nava, here with you.
All you gotta do is just baby, you know you ready. 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 All you gotta do is just baby, you know you ready. 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 All you gotta do is just
Patrick Kane continues to make history in the NHL leaderboards. 46 in goals, tied for 22nd in assists all time. He now has the 24th most points in NHL history, just past Jari Kurri. He's chasing down Evgeny Malkin, who is the other active player in the NHL in the middle order of this list, 21 through 30, in which we're paying attention to. Just past Curry. Wayne Gretzky's record of 2,857 points, highly believed to be unreachable. Andrew Kopp to take the faceoff against Trevor Zegras, or rather Christian Dvorak, won by Dvorak. Back for Drysdale. Jamie Drysdale. 4-on-4 as we play on here. And moving up the far side, Drysdale will send it ahead. Here's Konechny with a lot of space. Down the near side, gets Nick looked at by Edmondson, keeps a hold of it. Konechny draws two Red Wings here. And being forced backwards is Jamie Drysdale, being chased down by Alex DeBrincat. Shakes him off, and Drysdale will move up with speed down the far side. Drysdale looks for options, DeBrincat still there. Drysdale keeping a hold of it, far corner, sets up Dvorak with a shot, and that's blocked by Kopp off the stick. And here's a rush chance for DeBrincat. DeBrincat will wait for his turn, and cut away. Here's Drysdale. 2-on-1 as they come back. Konechny rushing back as Edmondson. Konechny fires. That's up high and wide. Flyers keep it in off of Dvorak. And it could not be collected by Philadelphia. DeBrincat will take it back for Detroit. Mort Seider will send this one back on the backhand for Simon Edmondson. Move back over. Dylan Larkin tried to play this one out. Philadelphia sensing the sense of urgency here. Down by 3. Risto line and doubled up and gets brought down. Puck comes out in front. Good stick there to end that threat. Here's another 2-on-1 chance. This time it's Detroit with it. Slides it across. Here's Larkin. He scores! Here come the Hats! Have a night, Dylan Larkin. His third career hat trick in the NHL on a night that saw Patrick Kane go up their leaderboards as Larkin, with quick thinking, receiving the feed from Mort Seider, just as one of the Flyers defenders was coming back. Travis Sanheim was the lone defensive back, and Alex Bump was late to the play. Philadelphia couldn't capitalize on their 2-on-1. Detroit could. And Mort Seider finding the open Dylan Larkin, seeing their season on the line, essentially. And the Red Wings basically have to win out, knowing how hot the Senators have caught. They're looking to slow down the Flyers' momentum here. And this could be one step. Who knows? 8:21 left in this third period. And Larkin scoring 3 times on 4 shots. 17:37 of ice time. His third career hat trick. And the ice crew is out here collecting the hats. Who knows if somebody snuck in an octopus or not? But even the ice crew is loving it. 7 Nation Army erupts here at OCA. And who knows if this can save Detroit's season. Soon enough. 6-2 is the lead. And the hats are being carted off. Ottawa secured the win over the Florida Panthers. Their victory is by a final score of 5-1. So they gain 2 points in the standings. That's going to hurt Detroit. But a win will keep the Red Wings in the wildcard race. Justin Falk gets shoved twice and now 3 times by Noah Cates. But with Columbus losing, Detroit wanting to hang on, which they most likely will have them jump the Blue Jackets in the standings. The Jackets beat the Red Wings earlier this week in a shootout. And the Red Wings ready to string together consecutive victories for the first time ever. Here's Patrick Kane again! Save Erson! Oh my goodness. We already saw a touchdown. How about the extra point? Here's Kane one more time. Curl and drag. He gets tied up from behind. The Flyers are just going to say no more, please, no more. The Flyers just want this game to end and focus on the next one. Lee pass up ahead. That missed everybody. And this will be an icing call against Philadelphia, with Trevor Zegras trying to chase after the puck. It's a 2-1 lead for the Michigan Wolverines over the Denver Pioneers. That game is being called by John Ott. Patrick Kane. Oh boy. At the sneak at 5-0 on Samuel Erson's. It doesn't matter which goaltender it is. It's Vladar, Erson. The Red Wings have put a pounding on the Flyers tonight. Lucas Raymond on the drop pass. Here is Edmondson to the front. And Erson shut it down. Raymond trying to get the rebound back. Emmett Finney sticking this one once and twice to Raymond. Bouncing puck is recollected by the Flyers up the far half boards. Seider to Edmondson. Moved up the middle to Raymond. Raymond sends it over. Here's Edmondson on the pursuit alongside Andre. Back behind the net. Another whistle has blown here with 6:45 to go. And both teams with 22 shots apiece. Edmondson may be called for a penalty. And he is. High sticking is the call. And it's 2 minutes. And Philadelphia's power play woes have transpired all season long. Mort Seider has a 5-point night. Don't forget about that. And Edmondson's shaking his head on that penalty of how good Seider has been tonight, along with a hat trick from Larkin. The Red Wings should have no problem the rest of the way throughout. Owen Tippett drops back. Here's a long shot from Ristolainen, and that's covered up by Cam Talbot. No John Gibson, no problem. And Philadelphia, they're going to have something forward here with this core, this young core, led by Trevor Zegras, Matvei Michkov, Border Martone. This youth movement continuing strong, and Cam Talbot will just stop the clock again. 6:29 left, 1:45 left, power play time. David Jiricek is waiting in the wings for an opportunity. He was involved in a 1-on-1 trade, which sent Bobby Brink to the Minnesota Wild. And Brink has found a new home on his hometown team. Moritz Seider sends it down the length of the ice. He's been a thrill to watch tonight. 5 points. And four of them have been assists. He has scored a goal to go with that as well. Marco Kasper gets tangled up. This is dropped back all the way for Andre. Shot is blocked by Johansson. Pass all the way across. Left side here is Konechny. Travis Konechny drop pass this blocked. And here's Dylan Larkin. Up for Marco Kasper. Going a 1-on-1. Deep shot was turned away by Samuel Harrison. Now Kasper's tied up. On the left circle. Picked up now by the Flyers. And Kasper go off to the bench. Owen Tippett sets up Tyson Forster for a shot that's blocked off a stick and cleared out. Jamie Drysdale with it with 50 seconds left as the Flyers change units. Trevor Zegras slowly makes his way up left side over to Forster. Tyson Forster on the handle backhand from the corner. Cates. Martone now. Zegras is down low. Back for Martone. He gets tied up. Back for Drysdale. Martone again. Martone. Slap pass over to Zegras. Spins out Sherratt. Trevor Zegras. What will he do to Michigan here? No, he defers over to Cates. Now it goes back for Zegras. Trevor Zegras and Noah Cates switch spots. Now he goes across where Drysdale had to bounce off his stick. Drysdale will return feed over to Zegras. Zegras will go down low. His shot deflected off a stick and goes out of play with 4:52 left in regulation. It's 2-1. Michigan leads. Logan Stankoven has scored again for Carolina. And with time winding down here, the Pittsburgh Penguins have defeated the New Jersey Devils 5-2 and clinch a playoff spot. It's a win and you're in for the Penguins. And that has just happened. 4:52 left. In this third period, the Red Wings send this down the ice and run out the rest of the Edvinsson penalty. Travis Sanheim starts up for the Flyers. And the next few minutes are for pride here for Philadelphia. And the 4:35 that's left. Far side as they send this in. Some of the fans here have already started to make their way for the exits. Dylan Larkin sends this way back over to Seider. And then back for Johansson. Right as Jacob Bernard Docker with it. Slowly handling this and 4:15 left. Now back for Johansson. As the Red Wings are just taking their time with this. I think that's more Seider who's still out there. Now it goes back for Seider. Far side is tipped in on is dumping. The Flyers will calmly play this one. Turned over to Kasper. Backhand pass was knocked off of Konechny. Philadelphia plays it up. Owen Tippett weaves his way through 3 Red Wings and tried to play this back for Ristolainen. In the way was Sherratt. Luke Glendening. In the way at the near corner. Tippett. Martone. Sent this one around left point. Andre, a deep shot. That hit a body. And here's another 2-on-1. Can you believe this? The clinic that the Red Wings have put on here for the second period onwards. Just insane to watch. Martone up the far side. Wanting to do something, this youngster. He instead fired this one wide. 3:17 left in this third. There's a collision along the boards. Jamie Drysdale wakes up. Cam York back for Drysdale. Drysdale moves ahead, gets stick lifted once and twice. Knocked away off a stick. And here's Mazur. Carter Mazur through center ice. Has something in the way there. And Philadelphia pick up from their own zone. Porter Martone lofts this one ahead through center. The Flyers want to get something up. Try to get something. And I mean anything. Not to tie this game up anymore because that's out of reach unless a catastrophe occurs. And moving through left circle. This is stopped by Talbot. Off the shot. And 2:35 left. Won't step away for the final time. Dylan Larkin with a hat trick. Mort Seider with a 5-point night. We'll be right back.
All you gotta do is just no dance. Baby, you know you ready. 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 All you gotta do is just no dance. Baby, you know you ready. 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 All you gotta do is just all you gotta do is just all you gotta do is just
As we come back here, Denver's just tied it against Michigan 2-2. Cider's 5-point game tonight is the 5th 5-point game by a Red Wings defenseman. And you look at the all-timers, and what a night it's been for Mort Seider as fans are making their way to the exits. Those are staying behind and appreciating the last few minutes left here. With Seider at the forefront of this 5-point night. Look at some of the best defensemen in Red Wings history. Of course, among them being Nicklas Lidstrom. 2:35 left in this one before we call it a night. Now it's 2:30 as this deep shot was stopped by Talbot. Jacob Bernard Docker plays this one out, and this rolling puck will go all the way back and handled by Ersson. Or rather, that is Rasmus Ristolainen who will get it from its own zone. And we look at everything in between these two teams. Philadelphia is holding on to the third seed in the Metro. But because of the Islanders winning, the Islanders are going to get back ground in this race. The Islanders beat the Maple Leafs 5-3. So that means they're within 1 point. And Glendening has just scored. Luke Glendening, the former Detroit Red Wing, who gets one for Philadelphia. And even though the Red Wings will pass the Blue Jackets, they still have to get by the Islanders for that last wild card spot. They're still behind by 3 points. And Detroit will hold tiebreaker by regulation wins. They'll get the tiebreaker based on regulation wins. They'll be tying for regulation and overtime wins. But they still sit 3 points behind the Ottawa Senators. So you take a look at the remaining schedules for all these teams. After this game, Ottawa will be going up against the Islanders, Devils, and Maple Leafs. The first two games are on the road for the Senators. And to go with hosting the Senators, the Islanders will be hosting the Canadiens and Hurricanes to wrap the season up. A tough stretch of the schedule to end it. The Red Wings, meanwhile, will be going up against the Devils, which is their last home game on Saturday. Then they're going on the road against Tampa and against Florida. That road trip is going to be the toughest stretch of the season for them. Columbus, meanwhile, will be facing off against Montreal at Montreal on Saturday. They'll host Boston, and then they'll host Washington to wrap up the season. The Capitals are not likely to make the playoffs. They have 3 games left on their schedule, sitting at 89 points. And it's very unlikely that they make it to the dance. Especially what could be Alex Ovechkin's final season. We don't know about his future. He is undecided on it. And Patrick Kane is on the ice, 1 point shy of 1,400 in his NHL career. Fans are standing on their feet here at Little Caesars Arena, saluting their team. 5 points for Mort Sider. Hat-trick and a 4-point night for Dylan Larkin, and a commanding 6-3 victory. That's our final score here for tonight. Cam Talbot stood in tall in place of John Gibson once he left the ice and stopped 10 of 11 shots. Don't Stop Believin' plays all around Little Caesars Arena. It is 3 power play goals and a shorthanded goal for the Red Wings. If Larkin scoring twice in the second period, 3 goals, 3 different ways. Larkin got one on the power play, he got one shorthanded, and he got one on even strength. What a game it's been for him. And Patrick Kane moving up the points leaderboard with a 3-point night, including a goal in the third period. Get this up. Here are your final stats here for tonight's game. 6-3, the Red Wings win. Shots 26-23, Philadelphia. Hits 30-20, Flyers. Face-offs 28-26, Red Wings. The Red Wings 3 of 4 on the power play. The Flyers 1 of 6. Penalty minutes 16-12, Detroit. Block shots are 13-12, Philadelphia. Takeaways 4-3, Detroit. And giveaways 12-9. That's all from Little Caesars Arena. I am Alec Nava saying good night from Detroit. And we'll see you for the playoffs.